Hi there, A3. Today we see a jar of cookie mix that this can be given as a gift to someone. I know this is something special that I used to make as gifts for people. This is really kind of a special thing to look at. Today, while I read the directions for making a gingerbread cookie mix gift jar, follow along in your reader to find out what ingredients you would need to make this gift. So we see the materials here, the ingredients that would go in, and then I will start reading this for you as you follow along with me. Number 1, first, mix 2 cups of flour with the baking powder and baking soda. Put the mixture into the jar to make the bottom layer of the ingredients. 2, next put the brown sugar into the jar to make the middle layer of ingredients. 3, finally mix the additional 1½ cups of flour with the ginger, cloves, and cinnamon. Put the mixture into the jar to make the top layer. Put the lid on the jar. Put the fabric on top of the lid. Tie the fabric onto the lid with the ribbon. Attach the recipe for gingerbread cookies to the jar. Have you ever helped make something like this? Maybe you have. Which ingredients gets put in the jar by itself? Yes, the brown sugar did. Look at the picture. How many layers of ingredients do you see? How many layers? Yeah, I see 3. Why are we instructed to keep the layers of ingredients separated instead of just mixing them all together and putting them in the jar? That's interesting, right? I'm wondering if it looks nice this way. The colors of the layers help to make the gift jar look kind of pretty, and so it looks more presentable than just a jar full of stuff all mixed together. How else can we make the jar look pretty? Yeah, it puts the cover of the fabric here and then the pretty bow. They cover the lid with a piece of fabric and tie a ribbon on it. Do you think it's important to make a gift look pretty? Yeah, I think it's kind of nice when you want to give something to someone from your heart, to go the extra mile to make it look as nice as possible. It reminds me of that verse, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all of your might. And so showing appreciation to someone and putting your heart into something, I think, is a good thing to do. When we give a gift to someone, we should give the best that we have. By making a gift look nice, we are giving our best. All right, and then this is fun today. This makes me want to go home and make cookies later, so maybe that's something that you want to do today. Gingerbread cookies. Do you think the gift jar has in it all the ingredients you would need to make those cookies that we just read? No, you're going to have to add some other things, right? You'll have to follow what the card says to make to add more things to it. Very good. So let's look here. What other ingredients are needed to make the gingerbread cookies? Yeah, you would need to add butter or margarine, molasses, and 1 egg. So this tells you what's in the mix, and then you would need to do this to it to make your gingerbread cookies. Number 1, empty the ingredients from the jar into a large mixing bowl. Stir the ingredients together. Number 2, add a ½ cup of softened butter or margarine, 3/4 cup molasses, 1 beaten egg. So these items were not here in the jar. So the friend who would you would give this to would need to add these things. Stir ingredients together. Number 4, cover and refrigerate for 1 hour or more. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 6, roll the dough into 1/2 inch thickness on the floured surface. Cut into shape with cookie cutter. So you get to cut it with the cookie cutter the shape that you would like. If it's the gingerbread man, maybe you want to use that, but sometimes it's fun to use different cutters too. Place cookies on greased cookie sheet. Bake for 10 to 12 minutes. decorate with icing and candy. And that part I always find really fun to decorate. What? So we said butter and margarine, molasses, and an egg were needed to add to this mixture to make this recipe. Why does the recipe instruct you to refrigerate the dough for an hour before making the cookies? Yeah, refrigerating the dough is going to make the dough a little harder, and it will be able to keep it from falling apart when you are shaping the cookies. So refrigerating it is a good thing to do to make sure the dough is ready for you to shape it. What would you need to cut the cookies into shape? Yeah, you would need a cookie cutter. Look at an instruction for number 5. So go to number 5. At what temperature will you bake the cookies? That's right, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. How long should you bake the cookies for? That's right, 10 to 12 minutes. Very good. So if you give someone this gift jar, do you think it is important to give the recipe for making the cookies? Yes. So the person who receives the gift jar will know what other ingredients they need and to know how to make the cookies. So they would need to have both parts to make the cookies. All right, so today on your paper, kind of fun, you get to draw a gingerbread cookie family. So you're going to pretend that you have the cookie cutter here, and then you're going to decorate a gingerbread cookie dad, a gingerbread cookie mom, a gingerbread cookie boy, girl, and a baby. That would be kind of fun to see how your cookies work out. But the other page today, we've talked about this before. This is using the glossary. And the glossary is in the back of your book. You notice here we have one more story to read that we will read. And then in the back, we see our glossary, okay? And then you are picking up a new book. You picked up a new book so that you can have that for our next stories. But in this book, we have the glossary. And remember, it's in alphabetical order like we've talked about. And then today you will need to look up the words and then answer the question from what you read in the glossary. Let's do the first one together. The first word is bear, one of our spelling words this week. Bear. So bear begins with B. Let's read it together. Ready, begin. The furry black bear was eating honey. Now answer the question. What was the bear doing? In this sentence in the glossary, was it running, eating, or sleeping? So you will circle your answer and you will do the same on all the others. Look at the first letter. Find it in the glossary. G was for garden, and I see garden right here. I read the sentence and then I answer the question. You'll upload a picture of your completed work.